welcome back. Hope everyone had a good break. Is ready to roll. So I do want to start off by sending our thoughts and prayers to Eric and Mia, the enemy. They mean a lot to us here. Obviously going through some hard times. So I want to make sure I start off by saying that. As we start training camp, I want to thank our crew here that set up campus. Obviously, it's a lot of work to get this thing going, and plus we had the storms yesterday, so there's a little bit of cleanup underway to get us started. And as I think about campus too, the other topic is just thanking George, the McCaskey family, Kevin, for their support in our football team. You guys will notice we got 2 brand new fields on 3 and 4, totally resodded, make sure our players are in good, on good surface. And you also notice the state-of-the-art film setup that we have on all the fields. Again, making sure that our coaches have the film right after practice so we can get to work. Obviously excited to kick this season off with training camp. I think there's some really good competition on our roster. And obviously when you have competition, you get growth, you get development, and you get to find out what you have on your football team as we prepare for this upcoming season. In terms of the injuries, want to go through the designation. So TJ Edwards is going to be NFI. He's got a right calf. He was training off-site, came back in with a sore calf, soft tissue. We don't see that as anything major. Shouldn't be too long with that. Keyshawn Elliott has some discomfort with his back. We took care of that. He's in a really good shape. If you saw him walking around, you would have no idea. He's running. Obviously, there's a return to play protocol where you're getting back to be a football player in terms of your strength, your conditioning. So he'll be in that. Kyler Gordon on PUP with his calf. He was here all off-season training, getting right. We had a delay in that. All hands on deck to get him back. Coach alluded to it before in terms of his availability or the lack thereof. Obviously, he's frustrated. We're frustrated. We just want him back. He helps our football team. But we have to move forward with the guys that we have. And when he's ready to go, he'll be ready to go. Everybody here is putting all their time and effort to get him back right. So that's where that's at. Elijah Hicks has some discomfort in his shin. We got that taken care of. So that's going to take a little bit of time, but he's on the mend. He's walking around. We don't see that as anything major. And then our guys that had surgery, Noah Sewell, he's rehabbing on his way back, but he'll be PUP. Ozzy's doing a great job. He's working his butt off. He looks good, so he's working to get, again, back into being a football player again. And then lastly, Shamar Turner. He's working to get back as well. He did some really good work this offseason. He's starting to move around really well. Again, I don't have timelines for all these guys, but they're on their way back. So I'll open up to questions.
Do you have a minimum amount of time you expect Kyler to miss here at the start of camp?
I don't. I really don't know. He's got to get right, and I think the important thing that we've all talked about is when he gets back, we need him to stay back.
You mentioned there's a frustration factor, obviously, on both sides with Kyler Gordon and you guys. Has he done everything that you guys have wanted him to do as far as rehabbing and getting better?
Yeah, like I said, I think he gave up a lot this break to stay here and put the time in. That's what he did. And again, a little bit of a repetitive situation that we got to get fixed. And then when he gets back, he's going to have to earn that trust back and that dependability. So, because we got to put all the guys in a good position to be successful. And the up and down, moving guys around is really tough. So he'll have to earn that back when he gets back.
Considering how long this has gone on for him, has there been some type of disconnect between him and the team at some point to explain why this is?
Yeah, I think that's a frustrating thing is I think the communication in terms of the plan our guys have put together has been on point, but it's just hasn't stuck. So again, we're turning every stone to get that thing right.
You talked about him being here late in the offseason. He didn't show up on time for the offseason program. Is it?
You're talking about last year?
Yeah. Do you need more consistency from him?
Yeah, this year's been consistent. Like I said, he stayed here the whole break trying to get right. We got to keep that consistent as we move forward.
One guy you did not mention was Dio. How encouraging has it been to him? And what did you see from him in the spring?
Yeah, Dio did a great job with his return to play. I think it's always good if you can get one of the guys that was injured in the season to be in that vet minicamp, at least, where they can start. I think the part that we don't talk about enough is just gaining your confidence back as a football player. There's some balance of body control things which it starts moving, where it's more reactive than proactive. So he was able to get that phase in and then add another 5-6 weeks of training. So it's really positive. Obviously, we'll keep on him as we go, but really encouraged by not only his work that he put into it, but our staff pouring into him to get him right.
We've talked to you about the pass rush all off season. How important is Dio's development during camp for you in whether you weigh, can you add, should you add?
Yeah, I think really the development of all those guys is going to be really important. Sweat, I'd like to see him continue to improve and take what he did last year and add to that. We don't talk about Booker. Like last offseason, he was coming on strong before he had a little bit of an injury there that kind of set him back, but he was able to kind of help us down the stretch. So he's another guy we're taking an eye on. So I don't think it's different than any part of the roster. We're going to evaluate and see how they do. And then if we got to make adjustments or obviously investigate where we can get better, we'll do that.
That's not a decision you plan on making anytime. A couple of weeks, that's more than toward the end of camp.
Yeah, I've told you all for the last 4 or 5 years, we're going to investigate any opportunities to get better. But at the end of the day, we got to make sure we know our team. So we evaluate on a daily basis and see what we need to do.
With the few veterans that are out there on the end, how do you decide whether that's a fit, not only for you, but for them too? I imagine that some of these names, household names that might not be comfortable with a smaller role. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we can cross that bridge if we ever needed to go across it. But everybody, we're looking for competition, guys come in and compete and really fall into the role to help us win football games.
You mentioned a couple of times the growth you saw from Caleb last season as a professional. What was most notable to you about the strides you saw him take?
I think what we saw down the stretch is like the desire to win. And I think we'll see development in all those other areas, the technical areas, understanding the offense, defense. Ben's done a great job with him, and I expect him to continue to develop. But I think at the end of the day, we want our guys to have a strong desire to find a way to win football games, and that was clear to me.
Watched him and Ben grow together. What's been the reason in your eyes that relationship has worked the way it has?
They both want to be great and win Super Bowls, and that's all that matters.
How does your perspective change at this time of year when you go from being the hunter to the hunted in the division, and does that alter anything you do?
No, I think it's important to have the mindset that you're always hunting. And that's what we're going to do. I'm sure Coach will talk about our mentality as we move forward, but we're going to be hunting at all times.
You head into this season, every position group that you look at that you saw last year and said, we nailed it this offseason. That's exactly where we wanted to improve, and we were able to do it.
I feel really good about the competition across our roster. I've learned being in this league long enough that, to sit here and feel comfortable today could change tomorrow. So we stay on edge for all of these positions because you might be deep today and you might be thin tomorrow. So we're just going to keep at it. So I don't think I ever feel comfortable with anything. So, but I love the competition that we have across the board.
How are you looking at perspective? What would you want to see if Caleb entering this camp and heading into year 3 for him?
Yeah, I'll just keep it broad just to continue to get better. Be a master of his craft. He does that, we'll be in good shape.
How are you looking at the left tackle competition?
Yeah, it's going to be a great competition. I think, we got Braxton in a really good spot, probably the healthiest he's been since his first year. So he's going to compete, and he's got a lot of snaps under his belt. Theo's done a great job. See what he's done with his body this offseason, and he just continues to get bigger, stronger, faster, understand what we're trying to do. I was really encouraged by Jedrick Wills and his progress that he's made. I think he's put over double-digit lean mass on his body, which was something we were looking forward to as he gets to getting back to what he was. So that whole group, and then, Ozzy's working his tail off. So, we get a couple layers to that, and we'll see how it all plays out. And Karan as well.
Ryan, what's the uniqueness of Garrett and then Logan behind him, and how you kind of envision your centers?
Yeah, you have a guy with a ton of NFL experience. Just played in the Super Bowl. I think he's one of those glue guys for offensive line that brings everyone together. Has a ton of knowledge and wisdom on how to play the position, especially with a young quarterback behind him. And then Logan's hungry. He's got great football character, strong from a physical standpoint, is in a really good place. But obviously, as a young center, this game's a lot different at this level. But we expect, again, competition there as we go. But really happy with how Bradbury's been going about his business.
When you talk about Caleb's intensity and desire to win and how encouraging that is to you,
Yeah.
are you seeing a connection between that, his understanding of how important just mastering some of the basics, some of the less exciting parts of the job are to those goals?
Yeah, and again, I'll let you hit that with Coach because he sees it closer than I do. But I think anytime these guys mature, they start to realize what the work looks like. And those small little details matter when you show up on game day. And again, I expect him to continue to grow in that area.
Brian, been at a point now in your roster development where you have veterans already in place, but you also start to acquire younger players for the future. You look at the depth at center, like Stacey just asked, you look at tight end, maybe linebacker. How do you evaluate that process in terms of when the time may come to transition to the younger guys?
Yeah, it goes back to competition. We're going to let it play out and see where they're at. Obviously, if the young guys haven't played a lot of football before, it's going to take a little bit of time to understand what this game's all about. But we look at the competition and how that stacks up and if guys are separating themselves or not. It's always a tough call. Again, when you haven't played NFL snaps, it's very different than even the preseason. So, I think what's really important at this time is being really good evaluators of your own roster. So we got to be honed in on that, and that's Coach and I talking through this whole process.
With
Couple more, please.
your desire to keep Darnell as a kind of core piece for you going forward, what is the next frontier for him in his growth as a tackle?
Yeah, I think it's just consistency. We all see the flashes and the stacks of plays that he puts together, and it's really impressive. Can he be consistent day in and day out? That's the key part for Darnell.
Is that a deal that you would like to get done sooner than later with Darnell Wright?
I think there's a window to get a deal done, and then at some point we got to go play football. So we'll figure that part out. But obviously, I think I've said it before. Darnell's the guy we want here long term. It takes two sides to get things done. But at the end of the day, I don't want any distractions or anything like that. So when it's time to go play football, we'll go play football and keep it moving. But yeah, he's a guy we would like here for a while.
Ryan, we talked to Ben about Luther Burden and his excitement about Burden in the offseason. From what you evaluated in college and from where you think his ceiling is, how far along is he? What more is there for him to do?
Yeah, we got to go play games, and he's got to, finish this thing off. But if there's a guy that I'm really excited about, it's Luther Burden because of just how much he's grown from the day he walked in this building. I heard he was just texting and calling these quarterbacks, just looking for an arm to throw to him every day of the week. The guy loves football. He's passionate about it. He wants to help this team win, and he wants to be the absolute best receiver he can possibly be. And you can feel the fire inside of him, and I'm excited to see that show up.